In 2022, the World Cup in Qatar was a tightly concentrated operation. A fan could realistically wake up, grab a coffee, and attend 2 or even 3 different matches in a single day without ever getting on an airplane. For years, FIFA President Gianni Infantino pushed to get more countries involved. In 2017, football's governing body voted to expand the tournament from 32 teams to 48. Adding 16 national teams, their entourages, and millions of new fans into the traditional single-nation hosting model creates a severe bottleneck. The existing infrastructure simply cannot hold that much volume. To absorb that kind of mass, FIFA had to discard the single-host playbook and build a system capable of moving 48 teams across an entire continent. This map shows the physical solution to housing a 48-team roster. The geographic footprint spans across the United States, Mexico, and Canada. To support the sheer volume of games, those 3 nations have carved out 16 distinct host cities, stretching from Vancouver to Mexico City. Across those cities, teams will play 104 matches. That is 40 more games than we saw in Qatar. Executing an event of this scale demands a massive leap in cross-border coordination. The World Cup now operates as a continental mega-tournament. You cannot effectively launch an event spanning millions of square miles from a single stage. Instead, on June 11th and 12th, the tournament kicks off with 3 simultaneous opening ceremonies across the 3 host nations. The first of those takes place in Mexico City. When the whistle blows there, the historic Estadio Azteca will become the very first stadium in history to host 3 different World Cup opening matches. To bridge the massive physical distance between these kickoff events, organizers are deploying a massive lineup of global music superstars, broadcasting a shared cultural experience to a geographically fractured fan base. This decentralized opening strategy establishes the operational tone for the rest of the tournament: massive, spread out, and simultaneously executed. The hardest mechanical challenge of expanding the tournament to 48 teams is figuring out how to fairly eliminate them. This diagram shows the new group stage math. The 48-team roster is divided into 12 groups, with 4 teams each. Under the standard rules, only the top 2 teams from each group are guaranteed to move on. That only yields 24 teams. To build a symmetrical bracket, the tournament extends a logistical lifeline, salvaging the 8 best third-place teams across all groups. Together, these surviving teams create a sprawling round of 32. Adding that extra knockout round means the ultimate champions will have to survive 8 matches to reach the final at MetLife Stadium. Mathematically and physically, the path to a World Cup victory is now longer and more taxing than at any point in football history. That sprawling continental scale eventually funnels down to the physical stadium turnstiles. Moving crowds of this size requires rigorous digital discipline. Fans have to arrive hours early, and paper tickets or screenshots will not work. Entry relies entirely on the official FWC 2026 mobile app. There are strict physical limits at the gates too. Bags are restricted to 12 by 6 by 12 clear plastic dimensions. Strollers are banned outright, and if you leave the stadium, there is no re-entry. When a system processes 104 matches, spontaneity has to be engineered out. Strict physical and digital compliance keeps the machine running. This structural overhaul extends directly to the broadcast audience. Fans watching from home will navigate 104 games sprawling across multiple North American time zones and competing television networks. In 2022, following the tournament was relatively passive. In 2026, keeping track of the brackets, the kickoff times, and the venues requires active, deliberate scheduling. The 2026 tournament functions as a logistical machine operating on a new frequency. It replaces the localized tradition of the World Cup with a vast, automated, and strictly regulated continental operation.